So what you're telling me is Kamala Harris is telling her donors that she is either planning to run for California governor in 2026 or president in 2028. Look, I'm all in on this idea, especially if she runs for governor, because that may finally allow the chance for a Republican to win the state, because we need someone to reverse the course on California. It looks like a zombie apocalypse there. But in all seriousness, this may be the funniest thing I'll hear all day. Her presidential campaign belly flopped more than any liberal jumping in a pool. Why would any donor want to send her money if they know she spends money as badly as Mariah Carey when she dated a billionaire? At least we don't have to hear any lip syncing from her. Actually, maybe that's what she needed.
Tell us what the likelihood is of Harris running for governor.
What she's been saying to people over the last couple of weeks, donors, other supporters that she's been talking with, is you haven't seen the last of me. I'm not going quietly into the night. Advisors, people close to her, are debating about what that means. They do not want her final official act ever to be essentially certifying Donald Trump's win over her.
I feel like that'd be her greatest achievement, though. It's also the nail in the coffin on DEI and what it represents. It can only get you so far until it's exposed.
Especially 4 years after January 6th. And so they look at this governor's race in California in 2026, and it seems to them like a layup, essentially, that she would probably clear the field, or mostly clear the field, and she would get to be governor of California. It's a pretty good job, right? It was good enough for Ronald Reagan and Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jerry Brown. But if she does that, that means that she couldn't turn around and run for president again in 2028, right? She'd need to essentially declare right away. And that is what it really comes down to, because there are people close to her who say she didn't get a fair shot this year. It wasn't up to what she could have done, and look how well she performed anyway. She should get to go again in 2028. And then there are ones who say, look, with where things are with the Democratic Party, she would not have a clear field, a cleared field, rather, in the Democratic primary, and could lose the nomination. And to come off of 2024 into that would be really terrible.
Obviously, that second take makes the most sense, but she would make the Democratic debates entertaining again, because I guarantee you when Gavin Newsom runs and other Democrats, they're going to turn on her so fast your head will spin, and she will make a complete fool of herself. For ego purposes, the most realistic thing she could do is run for governor, essentially be handed the nomination like she was handed everything else, because that was one of the most catastrophic losses I've seen. But can donors really get behind her again? Can Democrats really pretend to like her again? Would California want more Democratic leadership? Well, that one's obvious. They like to ignore reality and shoot themselves in the foot. I think the way to make California red is kind of what Glenn Youngkin is on track to do and what Ron DeSantis did. Have proven Republican leadership at the lower level and have that slowly translate to voting for a president. Because before Ron DeSantis, Florida was a swing state. Now Trump won that state by 13.1 points. In 2020, Trump lost Virginia by 10.1 points. In 2024, he lost by 5.2. That's a pretty big win in my book.